and also the NFC and AFC Conference Championship, my prediction for the game. So today it was announced the Eagles hired Nick Sirianni. He was the offense coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. They brought him in 99.9% sure it was because it's a Frank Reich coaching tree, and they think it's going to help Carson Wentz. If it doesn't help Carson Wentz, well then we just made a hire that is going to be a waste of 2 years of talent development. Although I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will have about 3 down years. I feel like looking at their press conferences and everything that they said, they're expecting to rebuild. So that's the beginning of this. Eagles are looking like right now they are $74 million over the cap for the projections for 2021. They can start slowly getting back under the cap. I know Malik Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey signed the June 1st offers, which basically, in a roundabout way, restructures the contract so that the dead cap hit goes for 2 years, across 2 years, and it gives the Eagles some financial relief. There's other players that could be released. Deshaun Jackson is one, probably save him about $5 million. A few other guys would save him a little bit of money, but they're probably looking at, if they get lucky with some off-season releases and trades, they'll probably get right under the cap enough to sign their draft picks and some undrafted free agents. They're not going to do much in free agency. They do have probably the 2 biggest free agents that they're going to have, if you don't include their punter, which, come on, it's a punter. It's kind of like kickers. You can find them off the street. Is Greg Ward, wide receiver, turned into one of Carson Wentz's favorite targets through the past 2 seasons since he's been with the team. And also Alex Singleton, the linebacker, probably their top performing linebacker. So what will the Eagles do with those 2 guys? I think they bring one, if not both of them, back on team-friendly deals, because both of them were undrafted free agents or signed off of practice squads. Top positions in need for the Eagles are wide receiver. They've shot blanks in the past few years. They drafted Jalen Reagor. Now, it's only been 1 season, but the next pick was Minnesota, and they picked Jefferson, who was a second-team All-Pro. 2 years ago, they picked J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and DK Metcalf was a few picks later. So you make those 2 picks with who Seattle picked in DK Metcalf, and Minnesota picking Jefferson, and now your wide receiver problem would be taken care of. Cornerback, the Eagles realistically haven't had a good 1-2 tandem of cornerbacks probably in about 15 years. Like 2 cornerbacks that you feel good about. They've had one cornerback here and there, but it's been quite a while since they've had a couple cornerbacks that you felt could shut down the other team's passing game. Safety, the Jalen Mills experiment failed. Let's call it what it is. It was a failure. There's a reason why they got him in, I believe, the 6th round a few years back. They need some O-line help, at least some depth. If they come back healthy, you've got Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks on the right side. Jason Kelsey is an unknown being that it seems like he's possibly going to retire. There's been talk the past 3 or 4 off seasons that he could walk away from the game. Left guard is up in the air, and left tackle is interesting. They have Andre Dillard, who was a first-round pick a few seasons ago, and had played behind Jason Peters, who I believe that's run its course. Where I don't think Jason Peters will be back anymore. Let's hope not, if you're an Eagles fan. And they have Jordan Mailata, who, when he played on the left side, he did a decent job. There's talk by some Philadelphia Eagles beat writers about, is there a possibility that Mailata would go to left guard, or would Andre Dillard? And then if everybody comes back healthy and Jason Kelsey doesn't retire, as long as they're healthy going into the league into next year's week 1, you could have a solid offensive line and would take some pressure off of me. Then all you need is some depth. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they're going to try having 2 people that are left tackles, one being a backup. But if it was me, I would try it out. At least have one of the 2 go to left guard. If Jason Kelsey is back, then you basically have a solid setup for the offensive line, as long as everybody can be relatively healthy. We'll go to the pick. I have Philadelphia Eagles with the 6th overall pick, drafting Patrick Surtain, the 2nd out of Alabama cornerback. It helps their need. Pair him with Slay. You have the possibility of 2 shutdown cornerbacks. He is one of the top 2 cornerbacks, depending on what draft boards and what sports websites you look at. I know CBS Sports had him ranked higher than the cornerback from Virginia Tech. I know one website I looked at had him 2nd, with the guy from Virginia Tech, the top prospect at the cornerback position. I think with his lineage, being a son of a former NFL cornerback, I think that kind of helps. Can help you prepare for getting into the league. That's where I think they'll go. We'll see what happens. But now on to the NFC and AFC championship games, what I think is going to happen. So I have the Green Bay beating Tampa Bay Sunday afternoon. They're calling for it to be, I believe, 25 for a high with a 60% chance of precipitation. Now that's 3 days away. But if 25 is going to be the high, everybody's sitting there saying, oh, well, Tom Brady played in the cold weather when he was with New England. But if you take Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski out, most of those guys haven't played in cold weather. So you're going to look at, more than likely, that team is going to struggle with the cold. If there is some precipitation, I think Aaron Jones is going to have a monster day. If it's snow or rain, I expect Aaron Jones to probably go about 105 to 110 rushing yards, probably about $140 combined rushing and receiving yards. See Green Bay winning the game pretty handily, about 28-17. I think it's going to be a 10-point win, at least. Going on to game number 2, the AFC Championship game. This game, realistically, you don't have to worry about weather. They both play in cold weather. So weather isn't a factor in my book. The only way it becomes a factor is if there's a lot of rain. Because Buffalo doesn't have a running game. The big question mark going in is Patrick Mahomes going to play? If Patrick Mahomes plays, then I think this is a runaway. I think Kansas City's going. If Patrick Mahomes plays, Kansas City is going to use this as their way of looking right at Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers and saying, "Watch us. This is what you're going to have to deal with. We're scaring your defense." And I see this game. If Patrick Mahomes is in, we're looking at probably about 38 to probably 21. I think this is going to get out of hand if Patrick Mahomes plays. If he doesn't, I really think that Buffalo stands a chance at pulling the upset. I don't think so. All signs are pointing that Mahomes will play. So, Buffalo fans, you will be disappointed. You will be going home. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. All 4 of them. I'd greatly appreciate. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.